Hello everyone, if you want to learn how to drive semi-truck, just contact RLJ CDL Services in New Richmond, Wisconsin. We're right next to St. Paul and Minneapolis, just along the border. Alright, so when I'm first getting in the truck, I'm looking at my steps. They're clean from debris, they're securely mounted, no ice or no grease. Getting in the door, you want to use 3 points of contact. Grab here, 1 foot there. Okay, boom, boom, boom. So, I want to make sure that my door closes properly. There's no gaps. It's securely latched. It locks and unlocks. Okay, and the handle works as well. Want to look at that door as well too. Okay, same thing. Okay, adjust the seat. Okay, I want to be able to reach my pedals. Okay, make sure it's in locked position. Alright, check my brake valves. Okay, they're both pulled out perfectly. There's about a finger gap right there. That means they're out. And I'm in neutral position. Okay, so then after that, I want to grab my seat belt here. Okay, my seat belt, clean from debris there. Latches, sorry, the camera worked. So I want to make sure it's locked here. Okay. And locked back there. It's securely mounted on all 3 ends. My belt, okay, it's not cut, it's not frayed, there's no holes. Okay. And I also want to tell the instructor to please put his seatbelt on as well. So then after that, what I want to do is I want to look at my windows. Okay, my windows. All right, they are not cracked, chipped, and they're clean. Okay, let me just put my, and they roll down, they roll up, they're in the locked position here. Okay, locked position, boom, just like that. All right, so I'm looking at all of my windows. There's no chips, there's no cracks. They're sealed all the way around. I don't see any leaking on the inside of my truck. Okay, so my windows are all securely mounted all the way around, and they're sealed properly. Okay, so with that said, what I want to do is check all my mirrors. Okay, some have mirrors on the front, sides. Okay, all of my mirrors are securely mounted. They're clean, none of them are cracked or chipped, and they're clean and all adjusted to me. Okay, so I'll look over here and then look over there. Then I want to make sure my dash is clean. Okay, I want to make sure my cubbies up top are clean from debris, stuff that'll fly out and hit me in the face when I'm driving. My visors are securely mounted. They're not going to break loose, hit me in the face while I'm driving. There's no debris up there that would fall and get underneath my brake pedals and throttle. Okay, so then I'm working my way, making sure everything's clean. I already looked at that door earlier. I asked my instructor to put his seatbelt on. I'm looking at the floor here, making sure the floor is clean. Okay, and that brings me to my 5 emergencies. You have your fire extinguisher, your 3 triangles, emergency triangles, and then you have your fuses, and they have your city horn and your emergency horn or air horn. Okay, so what you want to do is look at your fire extinguisher. See the needle there, it's in the green position. It means it's fully charged. See the pin here, the pin is in locked position. Okay, it's fully charged, it's up to date, it's securely mounted, and that's it. So then after that, you're looking at your triangles. You want to make sure you have 3 reflective triangles. They're securely mounted, and they all have DOT reflective tape, and then they're in proper working order. My fuses, okay, they're in a secure location. My fuses, they're not bent or cracked, and I have enough fuses if there is a problem. Okay, then after that, my city horn, I want to make sure that's securely mounted. There's no cracks in it. I can hear the city horn, meep, 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 meep. And then after that, what you want to do is check your air horn, emergency horn. The wire is not cut or frayed, securely mounted on both ends, and I can hear the air horn. Okay, so then after that, I go back down to my emergency. I covered all my emergency stuff. So then I'm looking at the floor. Now I see my stick. Okay, my stick's securely mounted. It's not bent. It's in the neutral position. And there's no debris that would keep it from working. It's securely mounted. Then after that, I go back down to the floor. I'm looking at my pedals. Okay, there's no debris behind my pedals. They're not bent. There's no grease on them, and they have no more than 2 inches of play. So then I come up to my steering wheel. Okay, my steering wheel has no more than 2 inches of play. It's not bent. There's no cracks in it. It's securely mounted. Then after that, I go to my key. My key is securely mounted. It's not bent. There's no debris hanging from it where I could get caught on my foot, and that it is securely mounted. Okay, so after that, what I want to do is a safe start. Neutral. Okay, valves are pulled out, foot over the brake, turn the key on. Okay, now I looked at all of my gauges. All of my gauges rose up quickly. My indicating lights all turned on. My ABS light turned on and it turned off. So all of my warning indicating lights are working. Okay, so I'm looking at my gauges here. I've got my coolant. All right, my coolant typically operates between 150 and 200 degrees. The gauge is securely mounted. It's free from debris, it's clean, and there's no warning indicating lights. My oil pressure typically operates from 50 to 60 psi. The needle is securely mounted, it's clean from debris, and there are there's no warning lights for my oil. My RPMs, okay, my RPMs are working properly. I give it a little bit of gas. The needle is properly mounted. It's clean from debris, and it's clean that I can see it. Okay, miles per hour, I'll check that later on when I do my my service brake test. My fuel. Okay, my fuel gauge is working properly. It's clean from debris, it's securely mounted, and there's no warning lights for low fuel. Okay, my air gauge here. This is, you got your primary and your secondary. Okay, the needles are working properly, showing me I have air pressure. They're securely mounted. They're clean. I can read them, and then there is no low air indicating lights or alarms going off at the time. My voltage, okay, I'm showing between 12 and 14 volts. All right, it's clean from debris, and I can easily read it, and it's securely mounted. Okay, so then after that, what I want to do is I want to test my left indicating blinker light. Okay, you pull this down for the left indicating blinker light, and then you push it up for the right indicating blinker light. Okay, then what you want to do for your high beams is you pull this up, and then your high beam indicating light turns on, and that's working properly. Okay, and then you let it down. Okay, and then you move on from there to your four-way flashers. Okay, your four-way flashers, you just push this baby in, and then both of your blinker lights turn on, and then you push it back in to turn it off. All right, so then after that, what you want to do is you want to move to your let's do your windshield washer next. Okay, push it in. Okay, I got good spray. My windshield wipers are securely mounted. They're working properly. They're free from debris, and they're cleaning properly, and I have enough washer fluid to supply me throughout my trip. Okay, then after that, what I want to do is check my fan, my heat, and my defrost. Okay, your defrost is up here. You want to make sure that it's properly working. It's warm air, it feels lovely. Okay, and then after that, I want to see if my air down here works as well. and I can feel that going. That's properly working. Okay, so I'm going to turn it off because it's hot in here. All right, so that completes my in-cab, and now I want to start my brake test. So what I want to do is I want to do a tug test, okay? So what I want to do is apply the brake a little bit, put it in drive. All right, I supply pressure to the truck, my parking brake. That releases my truck brakes. My trailer brakes are set. It's in the out position. And I want to give it a little tug. So I let off that and I give it a little gas. Okay. And I can tell that I have a good connection between my kingpin and my fifth wheel, and my trailer brakes are working. So now I want to do a tug on my tractor brakes. So pull this out, push in your trailer brakes. Okay. So now I do a tug on my tractor brakes. Okay, my tractor brakes are in the proper working order. I didn't move forward at all, and they're working properly. So then what I want to do is my service brake. I push both of them in. Okay, it's still in drive. I want to move forward. Okay, and then I push on my service brake when you have your hands on the wheel. Okay, both hands on the wheel. You want to make sure that there's no tugging to the left or to the right, and that your brake did not feel spongy and the vehicle came to a complete stop. So my service brake is working properly. So that's good. So then after that, you keep it in gear, and then you turn your truck off. Okay, make sure your window is down. Okay, so I'm in gear. My brake valves are pushed in from earlier. I'm in gear. Turn the truck off. Foot on the my foot was on the brake, but now I can take it off because I'm in gear and I won't move. Okay, so now I want to do my 1 minute air loss. So what you're going to do is look at your watch for 1 minute, and you're going to make sure that when I apply pressure to my service brake, that I'm going to lose no more than 4 psi within 1 minute on a combination vehicle. That means your truck and your trailer. Okay, so with that said, just apply the pressure. 60 seconds go by. You say, I lost no more than 4 psi with my combination vehicle, and if I just have my truck alone, it's going to be no more than 3 psi for just my truck itself. 1 minute goes by. Great. So then after that, you want to do your stomp test. So your stomp test, you just apply pressure to your service brake, your air goes down, and then you want to say between 60 and 80 psi. My low air alarm and indicating light should go off. And, oh, my air alarm went off at 60 psi, and my indicating light over here turned on, and that's in proper working order. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to do my stomp test. And I want my brake valves to pop out. So typically when I get here, I just want to focus here and make sure these babies pop out, because if only one pops out and the other one doesn't, and you touch them, you either need to start all the way over, or if you keep moving on, you're going to fail your test. So I keep stomping the brakes. Okay. And you always want to make sure that your key is in the on position when you're doing this test as well, right after your 60-second air loss. Okay, so I'm watching. Okay, see how one popped out, one didn't? Did they both? Okay, now both of them popped out, and they came out between 20 to 40 psi on my air tanks. All right. So then my brake valves popping out, that's in proper working order. So what I want to do is do a safe start now. Okay, foot on the brake, make sure I'm in neutral. My brake valves are popped out. I want to turn the truck into the on position. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a tug test on my truck and my trailer. Okay, so I'm going to give it a little bit of gas. All right, I did not move forward. My truck brakes and my trailer brakes are working properly. put it back into neutral. I want to build air in my air tanks. Okay, you want to make sure you have proper air building pressure, which it's between 80 and 100 psi, typically around 45 seconds when you time it. Okay, so then you want to rev it at no more than 1500 RPMs. Okay, and then you're waiting with your window down to hear the sound, and that means that your safety air valve went off and that your safety air valve is working properly. And then you tell the guy that concludes your brake test, because it typically will go off at around 125 psi. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to continue building air, and you have a good day and drive safe out there.